So we're at the Cibolo Creek Brewing Company here in Boerne, Texas. That's the stage right there. We're at their main outside patio. See, there's a dozen tables or so. Nice fans of some other seating here on the side. You tell it's dog friendly, pet friendly. I like this use of space. They have some tables right here along the side. They stay shaded most of the time. Then as we come to the front, got some tables out here. Some more. Some picnic tables over there. And then this side of the building, the bike rack, nice bench under the shade, and here's a beautiful front porch. Has a swing on this side, some chairs on this side, and another swing. So this is really built for social outside. Got a couple of large tables here. It's a relatively small bar. There's only 4 seats. And there's seating on the other side. For food. Smaller signs of their specialty beers.
You or the camera?
You can look at me.
Okay.
So introduce yourself and your brewery and the city.
Got it. All right. Hi there. I'm Ty Wallison with Cibolo Creek Brewing in Boerne, Texas. It's spelled B-O-E-R-N-E, but pronounced like the name Boerne.
As I'm learning.
That's how we know if you're local or not.
That's right. So how long has Cibolo been open?
So Cibolo Creek Brewing will be 6 years in August. 7.5 years if you count planning, but officially open just shy of 6 years.
Really good.
Yep.
What was this building before it was a brewery?
Yeah, so the original part of the building, which if you go inside, you can see the original flooring, give you an idea of like what was here before we added on. It was a cafe called the Peachtree Cafe. It's kind of like a tea house style cafe. Built in the early 1900s. It was part of the Weiss buildings. This father built 3 houses for his 3 daughters. The Weiss father for 3 Weiss daughters. They never actually lived in them, but that's the history behind the 3 houses, the one we're in and the 2 next to us.
Yeah, so you can tell it looked like a restaurant of some sort with the front porch.
Right.
Was it a house or was it just?
It was a house, and actually, if you walked into the Peachtree, it was literally a house. It still had all the walls, and you could see like it was all divided. I think it was a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and we just opened it completely up. Obviously, a different kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's your history as brewmaster?
So history, getting into brewing kind of follows a similar path to a lot of people. I started home brewing in graduate school at University of Montana. Brewed pretty bad beer for 2 or 3 years, and then finally brewed some good beer. That connected with my family's ranching business, and I was selling meat to a place just starting a brewery in Austin, and was giving the owner my home brew, and he offered me an assistant brewing position part-time, and that kind of spurred my growth into being paid for brewing. Cibolo-wise, my father-in-law, mother-in-law are the financiers behind the project, and they came to me 7.5 years ago and asked if I wanted to do our own brewery, which of course I said yes. And then my brother-in-law heard we were going to do a brewery, so he signed up to be the general manager, so kind of the house manager.
Gotcha.
So yeah, all family business.
Family business.
Yeah, all family.
Very nice.
Yep.
It looks like you have 5 main beers and then 5 or 6 smaller batch beers.
Correct.
Is that
So we have
for rotational?
typically we have 5 what we call big batch beers. So those are beers coming off our 7-barrel system. 2 of those never change, the Boerne Blonde and Creekside IPA. Same yeast, same hops, as long as I can get those. Those are our core 2 most popular beers, and then 3 kind of rotating big batch beers. And then outside of that, we have a 1-barrel system where we do small batch, and those change almost weekly. Kind of depends on the beer, but generally speaking, every week we have a new release coming from our small batch system. As many as 5 small batches on, as few as 2, depending.
Yeah, so we heard last night, and you have 4 or 5 small batch beers, and I noticed that some of those signs are down a little bit.
Yes, correct.
So
They go. I mean, a 25, 30-gallon batch just doesn't last that long. Definitely through a weekend, we usually go through a lot. So if you're coming in midweek, we kind of we'll have another release tomorrow and Sunday. So we try to keep up, but doing what we can.
that's very good.
Yeah.
No, business, good business.
Yeah,
good
yeah,
business.
no complaints. Yeah.
So you made it through the pandemic.
We did. Yeah, we
How
were.
was that for you guys?
Yeah, so with COVID, I mean, a few things. Politically speaking, obviously in a state where there weren't as many restrictions, so that was a plus. We're in a very affluent county. Kendall County is one of the top 5 most affluent counties in the state, so, generally speaking, recessions don't hit as hard here as they do elsewhere. So you had a lot of people who were working in San Antonio that were now working at home, and they were coming here for lunch, so we actually saw a spike in our lunch. We went the last
And
2...
plenty of seating outside.
And
for
plenty of
lunch.
seating. So April, we were to-go only, and that was not a great month. May, we went outside only, and it was the best May we've ever had until last year. Yeah, we have 150 seats outside, and tons of support. Locally, Boerne had a little less restrictions than San Antonio. So on the weekends, people from San Antonio were coming out here to kind of get out and about. We've outside of April 2020, we've seen a pretty steady growth. This year we're flat with last year, but last year was the busiest year we've ever had, so we're okay with that.
Yeah.
We can't really do much else.
Yeah.
We've kind of
Very
peaked.
good.
Yeah.
Do you distribute your beer, or do you just sell it?
So Cibolo Creek Brewing beer is only available here on site. So we have to-go crowlers, 32-ounce and 16-ounce cans. You can fill your own 32 or 64-ounce or bigger. We do kegs for people who have kegerators at home. But yeah, only available on site.
Okay. So you guys have any pet not-for-profits that you guys support?
We do, yeah. So we kind of have an interesting structure here at Cibolo. We're a non-tipping restaurant, so essentially everyone's wages are built into the price of things. And so one thing we've done is we work with the Boerne Coalition, and that's a local group that helps make sure that families that are in need of washers and dryers, clothes, basically anything that someone might need in our community, they reach out and try to help those people. And we have a jar that in lieu of tips, we tell people to basically put that tip money into that coalition jar.
Oh, that's very
and
nice.
I think we've raised, over $14,000 since we've been here. So that's kind of our number one. My father-in-law, mother-in-law go to the Catholic Church here locally, so we do some stuff with the Kings of Columbus, and then as kind of when there's local band boosters or kind of smaller hit and miss things, we'll help out with gift certificates and things like that. But the Boerne Coalition is our biggest not-for-profit that we work with.
Almost every brewery has one that they
Correct.
identify with someone.
And that's they reached out to us early on, and we like their model. I mean, I have young kids. My brother-in-law has a young daughter, so helping the kids in the community is really important to us.
Sure.
And definitely those who don't have the means, helping them out.
Sure. Now this is not brewery related, but I'm sure that on days like today, coming from Montana,